I got out from under my covers and opened the window a little more. There was an old nail sticking out of the wall that prevented the window from opening more than a quarter of the way. Hey guys, it's the Grim Reader here. Quickly before the video starts, I'd like to introduce you guys to Amino Apps, our sponsor for this video. They're basically a really cool app that has hundreds of different communities, and they have a new stories feature. It's a bit like Instagram stories, but much longer, and they stay there for as long as you want. I'll actually be creating stories and videos for them, which will be directly uploaded to my account on Amino App. My first story is already uploaded on the app, and it's a short tutorial of how I make these animations. If you want to have a peek at how I make these animations and maybe get inspired to do your own animations, then please go ahead and check out my story on Amino App. It's the first link in the description box below. I'll be uploading more stories and other content on Amino App, so yeah, follow me there via the first link in the description. I grew up in a large Midwest community, raised by a single mum. We lived in a small 2-bedroom house in the middle of a neighborhood that was situated on top of a large hill with plenty of busy roads nearby. The neighborhood was tiny, the houses were far apart, and the nearest home was around half a mile away. At the time of this story, I was 4 or 5 years old, and like any kid my age, I was having issues sleeping in my own bed. On a night like any other, my mum tucked me into my bed, turned on my nightlight, and shut my door. Her bedroom was located directly across the hallway, so if I needed anything, I could call her name and she would be there instantly. I woke up suddenly one night, not because I was scared or alarmed, but simply because I didn't feel the need to sleep. My bed was pushed up against the wall, and my window was located at the foot of the bed. I remember looking at the ceiling and out of the window and noticing how bright the moon was shining into my room. As I turned towards the wall to try to go back to sleep, I noticed that someone was looking in my window. I don't think I was old enough to be freaked out by this because I don't remember feeling scared. There was this lady. She looked completely normal. She looked at me and then waved at me. Then she told me to open the window further, although it was already open a crack and I could clearly hear her voice. I got out from under my covers and opened the window a little more. There was an old nail sticking out of the wall that prevented the window from opening more than a quarter of the way. She smiled for a few seconds and then calmly asked, "Can you help me find a house I'm looking for?" My mum had explained to me 100 times that I wasn't supposed to talk to strangers, and apparently this time I forgot all of her teachings because I was more than happy to help this lady. The lady told me some random address that she was looking for. I could barely remember my own address, let alone comprehend where the address was that she was looking for. I told her I didn't know where that house was and then she smiled at me. Honestly, this made me feel good because I was a little disappointed that I couldn't help my new friend at the time, and her smile reassured me. Thinking back, this was terrifying. After a few seconds of silence, she said, "Do you think you could come with me and help me find this place?" I can remember slowly getting out of my bed while keeping eye contact with this woman. Again, she wasn't particularly scary, and I wasn't scared either, but she just seemed a little desperate from what I could remember. Of course, at this age I didn't know what was going on or why she was acting weird. But anyhow, I backed up to my door and put my hand on the doorknob. The closer I got to my door, the closer she got to my window, until her face was touching the glass. I opened my door and calmly walked into my mum's room, still not understanding the severity of the situation. My mum immediately woke up and asked me what was wrong. As soon as I told her that there was a lady outside my window, she started freaking out. She asked me about 1,000,000 times if I was sure that it wasn't a dream. When she went into my room, sure enough, the window was open, but no lady to be found. Needless to say, my mum made me sleep with her for months after this happened. I think the scariest part about this is that I truly didn't understand how bad of a situation I was in, and the fact that she looked completely normal. This lady could have easily taken me out of my window. Around the time that this happened, a girl that lived in my neighborhood went missing. My mum never reported what happened to the police, but I always wonder if it could have been related. They still haven't found Trudy Appleby. I hope she's okay somewhere.